they present so many problems through 40 minutes of the game. And through 40 minutes, they were better. I know we got the loss, but I couldn't be more proud of the way our guys battled. We didn't play perfect. We had, once we went up 10, I know we had a segment there of about 6 straight possessions. There was 4 bad out of 6. And kind of allowed them to spurt back in it. But it had nothing to do with our effort, the way our guys fought. And there's no moral victories, but I couldn't be proud of the efforts. Obviously, it's things we have to get better at. I thought when Tay went down with a hurt thumb, I thought that kind of changed the tempo of the game a little bit at that point. But again, you got to find ways to play through that. You can't let it affect you emotionally. You can't let it affect what things you do. But again, we didn't get the win, but I'm awful proud of the way these guys fought in these 3 games. This wasn't no training trip we went on. We got thrown in the fire of these 3 teams, and again, like I said, I'm proud of our effort.
Thank you, Coach. In addition to Coach Stansbury, we've got student athletes Josh Anderson and Carson Williams at the podium as well. If you have a question for either of the student athletes or coach, please raise your hand using the hand or wave function. We'll go first upstairs to the media room. Austin.
Can't hear him at all. Zach, didn't hear a word.
Austin, can you have him repeat the question, please?
I got Jared. Yep, got you.
Okay, perfect. Coach, I know you said you're proud of these guys' experience. These guys that you have on the court.
Well, I think we all learned that we got a pretty good team. There's obviously there's things we have to get better at. But again, these were 3 totally different kind of games we played, back to back to back. Northern Iowa, like I say, we'll play not many teams more cerebral than they are. Memphis, not many more quicker and athletic and pressure more than they do. And for sure, there's not a team in the country on that back line that's as physical and as big, as strong as West Virginia. So we learned that we can play against all kind of styles, all kind of tempos. And all 3 of these games will make us better.
Coach Jared McDonald with the Daily News again. A stat that you always point out is free throws. Only 3 free throws in the second half today in the game. What was it that West Virginia did or you didn't do?
Well, naturally, they're big enough. They're big enough to guard us one-on-one in that block a bunch. So we didn't draw a lot of fouls there. Number 2, they were good enough defensively, kept us going, getting it to the rim, finishing some plays and drawing some fouls. So there just wasn't a lot of opportunities that we created fouls. And again, I thought the tempo got away from us that little stretch a little bit. I thought we settled and again, we had some turnovers there in that little stretch. Shot clock violation, charge foul, turnover out front. There was 3 possessions like in 4 trips that really felt changed the whole tempo of that game. So again, those are things we got to continue to get better at. But like I said, I'm proud of our effort.
Any more questions in the media room, Austin?
Yes, this is Jared McDonald with again. This is for both players. After 3 games this year, 2 quality wins, and then a close game today. What did you learn about your team?
Yeah, we know, which we already knew, how good we can be this year. Obviously, we were disappointed with the outcome of the game today, but the fight we put up against them and the other teams we've played throughout this term just shows what we have the opportunity to do this year.
What was the question?
What did you learn from these 3 games?
Just how much we can play together, and just how good we can be as a team. We got a lot of experience this year, so that helps us a lot. And just these 3 games coming in, not having like an exhibition game or something like that. We just played tough competition, so that was big for us. I think we learned a lot just from those first 2 games, definitely, and this last game for sure.
Let's take some questions from Zoom now. Let's start with Kevin Kinder.
Question for Carson and Josh. First half, your back cuts and screens worked really well, looked like. Second half, not quite as effective. Shooting percentage went down. What worked for you in the first half, and then what kind of got away a little bit in the second half?
Kevin, who was the question for?
Either Carson or Josh.
We can't hear it.
Kevin, can you repeat the question? I'm
Yes.
sorry. We got another practice going on behind us.
Sure. The first half, your screens and back cuts worked really well. You got a lot of shots at the rim. Second half weren't quite as successful. What did you do well in the first half, and what, if anything, changed in the second half?
Like you said, we had some back cuts working, some rolls to the rim, just getting downhill, finishing at the rim pretty well in the first half. A lot of opportunities there, and then I guess they just made adjustments in the second half and took that away. I don't really know the answer of what the difference was.
Question from Justin Jackson.
Yeah, this question is for Carson. I'm just kind of wondering, going into the game, you guys probably would have taken just 8 rebounds from Shibwe and Culver. Obviously, kind of held them in check rebounding the ball. What did you guys do there? And then, just from a personal standpoint, what was it like for you to, to bang against them?
It was a big emphasis that we had going into this game, knowing that they're one of the best rebounding teams in the country, especially on the offensive glass. So I just made sure to try to put a body on them every time going up, and then the rest of my teammates came in, cracked down, and picked up the rebounds too. So shout out to all of them for that.
We'll take one more question. Everybody good?